Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Darcy Smith's Adventures with Mixed Media, and I'm going to make some paper bag tags today. I'm going to use the recycling, we'll ignore this chocolate on there, the Amazon bags. I've cut a few up. Let's see, this is too long. So I'm just kind of cutting it. I kind of cut it the short way, I think is what I did. Let me make sure this is straight on this side. Just trying to get some straight tags, pockets, whatever. Yep, straightish. And this is folded in half, so it's like four paper bag thicknesses is what it ends up being. And I'm going to cut off, this may end up being two, because once I cut that off, and the bottom part was better. Alright, that's still together to some degree. I'm not worried about that because I can cover that. So this can be a good size tag, or let's see, I'm going to cut it off some. 3 inches is good. So that's like 3 inches by 5.5 inches, give or take. So yeah, I'm just kind of making some tag sizes. Alright, I'm going to take off this side that has like all the labels and whatnot. And this part that's wrinkled up here, I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. And I want to keep my edges because that helps keep it, you know, closed at least on one side. We'll do 3.5. Do some good size tags. And we'll cut off that chocolate. I eat chocolate, so chocolate just gets in places. Alright, so these are only double thickness right here. But it's okay if there's a tag or a pocket that isn't as thick. And then these are quadruple. That's the word I'm looking for. Thickness. I was just going to do this with regular paper bag, but do you think I can get to a paper bag in this mess? No, I can't. So, I will glue these. Once I can find everything I need to use my sewing machine, I do want to sew them, but I think you can do it without sewing them. And I know not everybody has sewing machines, so I'm going to just glue these really good so that they don't come apart. So this will be 4 paper bag thickness in here. And then where the white part is, you just kind of want to get in there with some good glue. You're going to hope your glue is going to work today. It's hard to tell. Hey, looks like some's coming out. You just want to make sure that that white stuff in there gets glued in good. So you want to get all your edges. Another way is, in fact, I think I might do that real quick. So you could take some scraps, like maybe some book page or something. I was thinking book page. Are there any bad words on this? I don't know. It might be alright. If not, I'm going to show when it's all said and done. So what I'm going to do is glue this on here on the side that's open. Move that out of my way. And I'm going to come over a little bit on each side. And then fold that over there. And then we can just cut that off. And then fold this over. And that will also, so that's why I like using the end pieces, because they're already, well, 2 sides here. One side here was already closed off, and then closed off this other bit just by folding the paper over. So now I can either fold something over the top or just make sure it's glued. I will probably glue something over the top. You can also use washi tape. So you could just kind of go around the edge with the washi tape. Because you just don't want those little white bits just falling out in your journal, that's all. I mean, or if you use just plain paper bag, you won't have to worry about it. You'll just glue your pieces of paper bag together, whether it's 2, 3, or 4. You can always use some cardstock in the middle, and just do like one, or one on each side, which is kind of what I did with this one. I just did this on the back. It's actually a piece of file folder. You can see the blue. And did that on the front, which is just paper bag that has been gessoed and inked and already, which is what we're going to do with these. And so yeah, if I were to sew them, I probably wouldn't have to do quite as much gluing. Ooh, I have an idea. We could even make this like a side pocket here. Just glue the top, and then make sure these get glued really well, maybe. Or, let's see, it could. Don't know why I'm tearing that edge. Don't really need to. Just want to make sure that it's not taller than what I need here. And then I'm going to fold that. Washi tape would also work, which I might do on the back. And so, yeah, just gonna. And look, hopefully there's no bed words. So I'm tucking that into where the pocket will be to cover that part. Now, like I said, if you just use plain paper bag, you won't have to worry about the, gluing the white in. But if you use, the edge, at least, you don't have to cover that side. I don't know. This was just an idea I had when I woke up this morning. It was supposed to just be with paper bag, and which this piece is just paper bag, so I will use this piece. I'm sorry, I've been sick. Today's the first day I've had energy to do this, and yeah. So what I want to do here though is just kind of put just a couple of pieces on the edges and whatnot, so when I do sew it, I'll sew right on those pieces. And I probably want a bigger piece, don't I? Yeah, I'm all paying attention today. Use scrap paper, book page, I don't know, whatever you want. Let's do a little piece of this. I think I just did the good side on the wrong side, but that's alright. Just kind of coming to the edge here and doing just a little bit of. So the idea is, when I sew it, I'll still sew around. It'll be sewn over that piece that I put on there. And then I'm going to do some gesso and some inking. I feel like I should probably start over. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it too much. All right, let's just keep moving on and moving on and moving on. So if you have nice thick, whoops, my glue is all, ugh. If you have nice thick paper bag, then, I mean, it's not super thick, but it'll fit in a pocket, or will be thick enough to be a pocket. These are a little thicker, so they're kind of fun. Where'd that washi tape go? Oh, see, I might end up covering that for writing. Anyway, depends which side the writing will. Well, the writing can be on that side, and I can just cover a little bit more on this side. Is fine and dandy. I don't know. I just like playing with inks and gesso on paper bags. I think is what it amounts to. So after about 2 weeks of coughing and being miserable, this is the first day that I have not had a full-on coughing fit, which is nice. Appreciate not having that happen. Not so far anyway, although my voice, you know, you can kind of tell from my voice, I'm not 100%. I'm doing it at angles because, you know, I have to come around that edge a little bit, so that'll make it a little easier to get into the pocket there. There we go. And we got a little pocket inside that one. Of course, if you were putting it on a page, then that wouldn't matter so much. I could just have that on the back, which maybe I will make that a double, like a tuck in a pocket. Might be fun. And the top could use a little bit something up there. Which side do I want? Doesn't really matter. I want to go this way. Oh, I don't have to keep the pocket in there. That will just go over. Okay. Don't mind me. I'm just working things out in my head. So, try to be fairly straight there. Get a little bit of wiggle room time. And it gives it a nice little border on the back. Looks kind of cute. Or the front, depending on which ends up being which. But yeah, I think I'm going to do this as a pocket on a page. So, I mean, I don't have the full, it only goes that far in. But still, you know, something cute in there. Cute tag in there will be fine. Alright, so that one is ready to ink up and whatnot. And that one, and this one, well, it's already got gesso and whatnot. Alright, so I'm going to finish closing up my edges just like I just did, and then I will be back. Okay, now we're on to the gesso part of it. So I've glued all these. Some of them I use paper bag. I made a mess. It's less messy if you just use regular paper bag. But if you are looking for a way to use these recycled bags, you know, just collage around the edge of them, and you could use them as your base. You don't even have to do the painting and inking. But all right, so I'm going to start with gesso. If you don't have gesso, you can just use some acrylic paint. And I'm just kind of scraping on some, not covering the whole thing, just kind of, you know, make it, I don't really need to do the back because the back is for writing on. I'm not even sure which side will be for writing on. I haven't, let's see. Yeah, this will probably be the writing on side. So I will just cover up this just a little bit so it's easier, you know, so if you write over that barcode, at least you can see it a little better. All right, so this will be the side that I decorate. This one was just the paper bag, and I glued a couple pieces of paper onto there, which will now get a little covered. That's probably more gesso than I wanted, but some will have less, some will have more. This will probably be the side that I save for, and yes, some ink, I mean some gesso and ink may get on there, but not the end of the world. Kind of want to just kind of, see, the gesso will take the ink a little bit differently. And if you don't have inks, you could use watered down acrylics. There's no right or wrong way to do this, you know. I mean, the only wrong way would be is if you combined a couple caustic solvents that don't do well together. As long as your inks don't have bleach and ammonia in them, and you mix those, you'll be fine. And you know, here I don't want the words to be the focal point, so they're just kind of getting pushed to the background. This one was just a piece of cardstock that I collaged. some paper bags onto, because I have a million of the little size, I think they're size 1, maybe? I don't remember. And so, you know, this is one way to use them, because they also have writing on them. And so I either have to use the inside of the bag, collage on them, or collage with them, and just, you know, do that. This one already has some gesso on it, so I think I'll just leave that. This is the one that can be either a text pocket or a journal card pocket. So I'll put a little gesso on the front here. And they will probably end up getting a focal point, so I'm not too concerned. This one I used some tissue paper on this side, and that's just got the green paint paper that you can get at the hardware store. Well, I couldn't find the green one at the hardware store. I had to get it on Amazon. And then this is just some tissue paper that I've seen in some places. I know Images by Kim, she's got them in her shop. If you're in Canada, she does ship to the United States, so you might, you know, if you find other things you like in her shop, just add some of the tissue paper. No problem. Some of these are fairly large. They may end up being belly bands, or even maybe a journal topper. You never know, because you know these are a little thicker, especially the ones that are 4 layers, and so you may end up wanting them on the outside of your journal. And I'm not sure that I'm going to cut the corners of these, because then I have to deal with the open thing again. See, this one will probably be a belly band, so I'm not worried about what the back looks like. And I like that there's the, you know, I still want that barcode to show a little bit. So I just put a little bit of gesso on there, so I get this random. This may be a belly band too, and I don't mind that the Amazon thing is showing. And the well, now the Amazon's not showing, but the QR code is showing, and that's all right. It's all right. See, I wiped some off, and some places it's thinner, and some places it's thicker. And so now I will pause the camera again while these dry, or I'll dry them, we'll see. And move on to some inks, watered down paints, whatever it is you have. Don't feel like, I mean, or look in your kitchen. Maybe you've got some food coloring that you can use instead of inks. I've done that before. That's how I started out. You do not have to go buying all the inks and all the things. Oh, that was the last one. So I'm going to pause for a minute, and I will be back after these messages. We'll be right back. And it's just like me to pull out way more sprays than I need, and also to not have my water ready. Oh my goodness, where's my spray bottle? There it is. I usually dilute these with some water when I do them, and I like the combination of some oxides and some inks. And of course, you know, you could do water down some acrylic paint, or use food coloring, or I don't know, Easter egg dye, whatever you want to use to just, you know, put some down and smush. We're just smushing. We're smushing today. So this is pumice stone distress oxide, and you do need, these are more opaque than the inks, the spray inks. And the distress stains are basically, you know, the distress inks in liquid form. So if you have distress inks like these, just use those, spray some water, and that works too. But I, you know, became obsessed with sprays. So this is pumice stone, which is just kind of a neutral. So now if I add a little bit of peeled paint to that, then I can get kind of a different look. See where it's darker, that's where the peeled paint is by itself, and it's a little bit lighter where it mixed with the pumice stone a little bit. And so yeah, I'm just going to do some different layers with some different colors. And where did whoops. And I did not add water, so that is going to make it a little bit more strong, but now I'm going to add water. So that'll dilute it a little bit, but I just kind of wanted, there we go. And I mean, you can move it around once you smush it, or whatever it is you want to do. Yeah, we can do some green on that one. And it'll come out differently on the paper bag than it will on the gesso or the other paper, because, you know, things pick up things differently. Okay, and more some green here, and I might brighten up the green a little bit now with some of the olive, crushed olive, and white linen. I'm just going to spray in some different spots so that I can still kind of get the greens. That's interesting. I'm not going to say it's beautiful, but it's interesting. It's not over till it's over. So. Alright, let's see. And then if I don't want to clean this right up, what I'll do is I'll move to a color that is in a similar, you know, I'll just move around the color wheel, basically, till I get to the other side. If I want to do, you know, I tend to stay on the blue-green side anyway, but let's see. Vintage photo. Let's spray a little bit of that. Gonna get a mess now. But it's a fun mess. It's just fun. It's just smushing paint, seeing what you get. I don't know. Excuse me. Hey, that's the first time I coughed in a little while, so that's good. Not upset about that. See, now I might add a little bit of okay, she spoke too soon. Now she's, oh yeah, this would be the one, no clog. Yeah, I'll get right on that no clog business. These are the ones that clog the most for me. What is up with that? Come on, Seth. How come your no clog spray bottle is clogged for me? The icing sprays are more pigmented, so you know, if you like that, that's a good thing. See, I like that, so I'm gonna get some nice dark, and then I can always do this, spray a little bit of water and let it spread and do its thing. So, and then move it over here to dry. Who knows how things will dry, because I'm putting stuff on top of each other. Okay, now we've got some blue-greens happening here. And went back to, now we're back to just green, because there was so much green in there. I don't want to go froggy green for sure. Ooh, let's do a little bit weathered wood oxide, which should blue this out a little bit. And then did I have, oh, I have, no, Uncharted Mariner has green in it too. I've got the chip sapphire oxide, which I might be able to spray in a couple places. And then add some water, and then maybe add that's what, oh, let's add a little bit of the weathered wood that is the ink. That'll do different than the other. Alright, let's see. We got a little froggy green happening now. It's alright. We can fix that somewhat. Boy, you might like that color. It's actually more of a, maybe more like a peacock kind of a green. I don't know. Let's see. Put that to the side to dry. I'll put it there. Pick up the rest of that with this. These feel kind of fun. Now, it's okay, because that's, you know, that's just one layer. So I'm going to dry these up. Well, this had orange on it, so I was going to try to go a different direction with it, but I can't go that different of a direction. Hopefully some of the orange will still show a little bit. We'll see. All right, let me dry these. They always dry lighter. You'll see. I think for this next layer, I want to bring in some stencils. So I've got some here, and I'm just going to spray. And I just want where the X's are. And I think I will use, here we go. That's a nice dark ground espresso. Now, what I will now do is take, see, that's fun. And so I'll move that to the side to dry. And then I'll take this and maybe go ahead and lay this on here. Of course, if I wet one of them a little bit, it might come out clearer, but nope, that came out good. That's cool. Let's see. Now I will spray it, which will give a little interest on here. Yeah, gave some interest. Just some. Not getting the stamp, but that's, you know, that's all right. I'm getting good stuff. It's all good. Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah, that's something I can do too. I can kind of put it on here and do what? I don't know. If I had wipes. Where'd the wipes go? I don't know. We'll just use the corner of this and kind of do that. So that moved the ink onto there, and I'll choose a different stencil. That's the word I want. The word for the day is stencil. Not really, but you know. That is a fun one. Let's see, I don't really want to cover it up that much, so we'll just use the peel paint, which is already what's on there. And then we can take this and lay it down, and no, I was hoping we'd get some cleaner bits, but that's okay. If I use dry ink, maybe, you know, but or paint if I had it on the gel plate. So that's all right. All right, let's see. But that gave us a little something, which is cool. I've got polka dots too. That's green. Let's go crazy and do some Mermaid Lagoon. I know, crazy. Probably did not need it quite that wet. Also, I didn't really want to cover it fully, but I wasn't thinking. But that's all right. It's all right. We will add, I can always add more gesso. Everything's good. See, that's cool. Just get some, just trying to use up all the ink that's on there. Wouldn't want to waste it, would we? Put a little, whoops. Just get some darker color on there. And on there, that's kind of cool. And what else we have? We have these fun squares, which are from the breakfast one, PM Artist Studio. Any of the white stencils you see are PM Artist Studio because they use the U-bow. Alright, now what do I want to use? I've got this feathered wood, or I've got uncharted. Could be enchanted mariner, right? Okay. I'm going to smush this down on top of that. There, we can see a little bit of squares under there. So that's all good in the neighborhood. And, oh, we can see the lines a little bit on there. So I like what happened with that. And just pick up some of that. Alright. I do want to get some stamping on here. So I'm just going to take the stamp that I had a minute ago. I just had some stamps. There they go. I put them in a place. Where did I put them? Seriously. Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, I'd have more room here if I'd move this box out of my way. There goes more stuff falling to the floor. Oh, I had this too. I was gonna do on something, but oh wait, is this one? Oh, that one needs a little something. We'll try going through there with some just on some spots. See? Like it, I like it, I like it. And then put it there, and I like that too. Alright. Probably need to dry. I need to dry some more things. Let me dry these and then get my stamp. Okay, remember this one's just a little much. I did not want it completely covered in polka dots. So I'm just going to take some gesso and push the polka dots into the background a little bit. Now, the wet gesso will affect the polka dots. They may come through a little bit. They may get spread out a little bit. It's alright. They may, yeah, see it coming right through the gesso. Excuse me. But that's alright. A little more brightness with some more gesso on. Gesso can be on any layer you want. It can be on the first layer, the third layer, the 10th layer, the final layer. It doesn't matter. That's the great thing about gesso. Excuse me, sorry. Oh my goodness. I'm supposed to pause when I cough. I forgot. Or I could even, you know, go through a stencil with some gesso too. I just covered my X's. Why did I do that? I don't know. What is wrong with me? I don't know. Just want a little bit. See? Just a little bit. That's all I wanted was just a little bit. Oh my goodness. Not sure what happened on that last layer on that one. Not much. A little bit of something. I think that was, I got a couple lines on it, I guess. There we go. This one didn't have much gesso on it to begin with. Whoops, because I kind of skipped over it. Now, thanks. I was thinking it was a paper bag that I liked the inks on, but I think it's the gesso on the paper bag that I like. Who knows? Whoops. So, yep. Sometimes I'm just using the wrinkles to my advantage. Not getting much on there, just enough. Just to I don't know, brighten it up just a little bit. Once you put the inks on, it does get a little dark. Alright. Oh, this one came out cool. This was the one that had the background on, and it was the gesso paper bag. And then that oxide that I used almost looks like a gesso. Almost looks like the paper bag, actually, is what it looks like, is what I was trying to say. It doesn't look like the gesso. It looks like the paper bag, even though it's ink. Alright. Now, oh, I've got some stamps. These are good background stamps. This is the gears. This is the Asemic writing. Love, love, love. Let's see, I don't need the bee or the dragonfly yet. Some of these are imperfectly perfect ones. Love this little one. That's a good background one. That's a good background one. And if the Shelly one will be a good background one. I may do that on one. Let's see. And I think I want to use, no, I don't want to use that. I want to try it with my, what is this? Ground espresso. This is a permanent one. Now if I want it to move, which, you know, maybe I do sometimes, I can use a water soluble ink. See, it's a nice background. It just gives a little bit of, and I've got the squares on there, so a little bit of the circles is kind of nice. You can put them wherever. There you go. Look at that. Like it. I like it. I like it. And I know I like the Asemic writing. Oh, why did I put that upside down? I don't know. Could do the Asemic writing in black, which maybe I will. Oh, that's got X's on it. Let's do this one. Yeah, I probably need to do the black because that doesn't really show up. That's not showing its. I had, you know that I had the black. I saw it at some point when I was moving stuff on my desk. It's right here. It's right here in front of me. Yep. That's what happens. I lose things that are, yep, that's the Asemic writing. They are right in front of me. There we go. See? That's fun. Right there. Love it. Let's see. Ooh, I'll like it on this one, I know. Because it's almost got a lattice effect in the back. Just kind of, almost like you would use script stamping. Except if it's Asemic writing. Let's do the gears maybe, because we got squares on here. So the gears will be good. And I'm just kind of, you know, doing them here and there and not having it be perfect, but just kind of having it be part of the background. What about this one here? It is, I forget what this one's called. I do have a stencil though, I think. I know I do. I saw it earlier. Yeah, I had the stencil. Yep. Alright. Do I want to do it in black? Yeah, I got the black writing. Why not? Just kind of come down the side with it. It's not bad. Let's see. I want to do it on any other ones. What if I almost wish it was just a circle. Wouldn't mind if it was just a circle. Let's just do it randomly. A straight would have been nice, but that's a lot to hope for, I guess. Well, I'm just going to overlap them a little bit now. See how that looks. There we go. It's kind of cool. This has got the X's on it. They're not real clear anymore, but we can have a little dragonfly in the background there. I actually decided I want his body on the whiter part, and over on this side next to the see, that's an imperfectly perfect one. I think it looks pretty good to me. I don't know why it's perfectly imperfect. Maybe it was just a beta testing one. But if that one looks that good, imagine how good the perfect one is. So these stamps also come from PM Artist Studio. Stamps is new. They are the foam stamps. They work really well. I haven't used them on the gel plate yet, because then I'd have to wash them if I get paint on them. So, you know, a little bit of Islamic writing down here. Even a little bit up there. A little background there. That's fun. Alright, something will show up here. Oh, the green is, does it matter which way I go on this? Not really. A little Islamic writing. What about this one? Our little circly. Whoops. There we go. That's fun. Third place, maybe? 3? So you got 1, 2, 3. Got our triangle happening. Alright. Now this already has circles, so do we want to do something that's not circles, or do we want to just go pay attention to these circles? They're different. They're frog eggs. They kind of look like frog eggs. Hey, you know they do. You're seeing it too. I know you are. There we go. Kind of fun. Alright, these stamps are fun to play with, just saying. Let's see. Some more gears. Alright, this one's not picking up the ink quite as well. And I'm not quite sure if it's just not picking it. There it goes. If it's that it's not picking it up as great, or if it's just that I'm not pressing as much as I would want to. That could be it. I would have used my script ones, except for I lost them, that I had like before I started the video. I had them. They were tucked in somewhere in something, and they are no longer, they're not anywhere I can see them now, and that's really annoying. Just tell you right now, it's annoying when you can't find what you just had. There we go. I'm loving it. Because it was my script stamp and my crackle stamp. I mean, I've got other script stamps somewhere. Oh, I don't know. I don't know where anything is now. Alright. Oh, and I think I will go through and use a little bit of my favorite stamp in, we'll do the brown. I need to re-ink this probably. Well, I got a bigger one that I can re-ink as well. Is this it? That is the coffee one. Yeah. Alright, got just a little hint of lines on there, which is why I like this. Okay, now I've got some collage paper here too. Isn't that fun? Let's see. Do we want anything? Oh, I do have some. This one. I'm just gonna use this, because this has got a good amount of ink in it. And this is just the Timber Brown. There we go. Just kind of catch some of this here and there. Goes every which direction. Can't even hardly tell there was map under there anymore. See, once you start adding gesso, then you end up with, you know, whatever was underneath it's background, way in the background. Just a little bit hint here and there. Let's see. Probably won't be able to see this if I do it, but I don't know. If I use this ink, maybe. Little houndstooth. Why not? Because I like houndstooth. I mean, might not necessarily go with asemic writing, and oh, that doesn't show. There, just a tiny bit up at the top. Yeah, not really getting it on there. Let's see. Problem is, whoops, with this one, is that I got paint on this stamp, so it doesn't really work so well with ink. There we go. There's some in the middle. It's my own fault. That's all there is to it. It's just my own fault. There it is. That's fun. I like that. So I don't want to lose that little bit in the middle. That actually, I like it as it is pretty much. That one's good. That one, I don't know. This side could maybe use a little something. There we go. And so I do have these splatters. That might be, I could put on something. But I also have these splatters, and also I could splatter. Kind of want to splatter with some white and some black maybe. I don't know. Could use Prussian glue too if I wanted to. Ooh, you know what? Not frayed burlap. Where's one of these re-inkers? That might be a good. These are all the oxides. Did I? Don't mind me. I'm just. Oh man. In my head over here. Coffee. Let's use the little bit of the coffee re-inker to splatter with. Don't know if I need to water that down or not. I would think that I wouldn't. But that doesn't mean anything. Because my brush is also there. Now my brush is wet. There we go. Gives me some little bits of splatter. All up my hand too, because that's fun. I don't need a lot. I just kind of want. Where'd I put my re-inker? And it's pretty dark. It's, you know, when it's in this ink thing, it's not usually this dark. But because it's undiluted, it's, you know, looks a little bit more like the dark brown. And you could also use like acrylic ink or watered down acrylic paint. I'm just using this because it's what I have. You might not, you probably don't have all the ring. I don't have all the re-inkers. I buy them like when they are, let's just add some water now. I buy them in like the pack, so like they cost less per. So I end up with some inks that I might not use as much. But, you know, at some point, you know I'm going to use them because I use stuff. And we're getting different colors now because now it's wet, so it's mixing in with the paint that was already on this, which is probably mostly gesso anyway. Getting a little lighter brown on there. Coffee with a little bit of cream. There we go. And I think that is good for our backgrounds. Now, you could use them as they are, or you could, oh shoot, add a focal point. Oh, whatever. You could also add, let's see, those are probably not the aesthetic you're going for with this messy, grungy. If you're doing a grungy journal, these are perfect. You know, play with your gesso, your inks, and all your things, and your stamps, and your stencils. Use all the things. See, that one I think is probably good as it is. I'll probably ink around the edges. Or you could just, I don't know how I want to decorate these. If you guys have some ideas, tell me. Because I mean, I've got, you know, you could do just a coffee cup. See, I don't know. I kind of like them as they are. I don't know. But I would add to them kind of maybe some more stamps. Like I've got the dragonfly on a couple and I like how that looks. So I might look through my stamps and see if there's some that I want to add as more of a focal point on some of these. Anyway, I hope you guys had fun with this. I haven't done mixed media in a little while, so that was fun. I haven't done anything for like a while either since I've been sick. It was just some kind of virus, you know, and then there's just coughing. And, you know, everyone, Nathan and I, my youngest, we had it the worst. It took us over 2 weeks. Well, I'm at 2-week mark today. Took him over 2 weeks, and we would have these horrible coughing fits. And my husband was over it in like 2 days. That was annoying. My son also, you know, he was back. Actually, he kept going to work. He didn't even realize how sick he was. After work, his girlfriend's like, let me take your temperature, and he had a fever. And I was like, oh my goodness, just spreading it around to everybody else. No one wants that. And my dad, you know, he's what, 70 something, young 70s. And he didn't have it as bad either. Just Nathan and I don't know why. But anyway, I am glad to be back. I hope I wasn't really out of screen the whole time. Ooh, my belly. Have a delightful day, guys. Love you.